Holy crap. I mean, how do you stand in here and talk about anything? And this is just amazing. So, I'm speechless in this room. But I do have to reiterate what Rick said. And to all the guys in Texas, Joe and Adam and the rest of the team, I'm not going to try to name you all because I'll miss somebody. But you guys did a hell of a job. I've been in this club for 8 years now. Oh, math is going. 8 years, and I've been to 6 Nationals, and they get better every year, and this is incredible. From Thursday just hanging out to Friday what we did with the go-karting and the cruise and the show and now this, I mean, it's amazing. We've been trying for 10 years to get Steve and Liz and the family to join and join us at this event, and by God it took us 10 years, but here we are. So a big thank you to Steve and Liz and Molly. And something else that I've always been in the middle on for the last 8 years is the whole SCOA versus SOEC divide. I mean, we're all here for the same reason, to support Steve and the cars he built and the enthusiasm that we have for these things. So to Betsy and Rudy and Jim and everybody else in here that's in SOEC to finally come together, I mean, we're here for fun. We're here for the cars, so I think this is great. So thank you. I guess it was 5 years ago, we lost a big enthusiast in the club, Gary Alsobrook. So we started doing this award for him. And I told Rick that I wanted to stand up here and talk about Gary for 5 minutes or so, because there's a lot of people in here that never knew Gary, or never knew what he was about and why we do this award. You just know that we give this award. So that's what I want to do right now. Gary had battled cancer 2 or 3 times over the years, and finally succumbed in 2008, February actually. And I went down with some buddies from Indianapolis, Stu Akers, Mark Allen, Ken McDowell, which a lot of people in this club would probably consider the 3 kings of Fox Body Saleens. And I know there's more around the country, but we went down because, you know, we love Gary as a car enthusiast on Valentine's Day of 2008 to celebrate his life. I met Gary at the Midwest Regionals in 2005 when I first bought my car, and we instantly became friends, like a lot of us in here do that never meet each other face to face. We just become friends on the internet. We got a screen name, and that's how you know each other. And you know, Gary was Big Wing Saleen, and so we became instant friends. He was in the Southeast region, I was in the Central region, and next thing I know, he's coming to all of our events. He's like, I'm in Tennessee, but I'm coming to your events. Those of you in the Southeast region, I guarantee you, he'd be a big part of it today. So, you know, the cars are the conduit. Somebody's good friend of mine's always said, and that was Gary all the way. Gary would come to the events and he'd sit outside with us at night around the trailers, which we coined as trailer park talks. Probably not a good term, but you've all heard it by now. We sit outside and partake in adult beverages, and he would sit there with his wife and his young son, Ryan, who was 12 years old. And we're sitting out there, and sometimes it gets a little out of hand, and I'm thinking to myself, he's letting this kid sit out here with us. Thought we were a bad influence, but it turns out we weren't a bad influence. I mean, Ryan is now following in his dad's steps. He's driving an SVO. He's looking to get his dad's 85, number 49 back on the road. So I think that's very cool. Lynette and Ryan returned back to the Shelby Spring Fling, which is one of the first places I really met them, in 2012, which was 4 years after he died. And I thought that was very cool that they finally came back. Gary was passionate about the Saleen Club and getting Steve and Liz to come, and I know he's looking down right now and happy as hell. But when he finally came back, we had won a coveted club participation award at the Spring Fling, which we could never get away from the local Indiana clubs. I'm from Indianapolis, by the way. I think most of you know that. That was Gary's passion. we need to get all the Saleens we can get out of the woodwork, come to the Shelby Springs plant, we're gonna take that darn award, and we're gonna get the money. We'd always fall short by 1 or 2 cars, and Gary was passionate. Come on, y'all, we gotta get more cars. He died in 2008, we took the award in 2008, and we took it 4 years after that. And each year that we took it, we donated it back in his name. And in 2012, when Ryan and Lynette came back, I actually had Ryan come up on stage with me to accept it and donate it back in his dad's name. So I thought that was really cool. But for those of you who don't know, he was more about Saleens. I mean, Gary started the SBO Club. He started a local club in his region in 1980, Music City Mustang Club. He was a founding member of our club. So, I mean, Gary was just very passionate about these things. And after he died, I got together with Charlie Smith, our president at the time, Tony Brodziller, talked to several other members, and we developed this thing we called it Gary Alsobrook's Award. And the whole intent of it was to celebrate somebody throughout the year that basically lives by our motto, fun, friendships, and Saleens. And the first winner of that was a guy by the name of Mark Allen, a good friend of mine from Indianapolis. Very passionate guy about Fox Body Saleens, always willing to help. You know, the whole thing was somebody that's in this hobby to help people, and really focused on our motto. The second winner, another good friend of mine now by the name of George Gast, he's in the room, and George was actually a very good friend of Gary Alsobrook, so this award is very near and dear to George. George was very helpful with another friend of ours, Brian Beard, in a stroker project on his 1987 Saleen. And then I'm going to actually bring this next gentleman up. Our third winner of the Gary Alsobrook Award was Tony Day. So Tony, if you'd like to come up, I'll have you join me for the rest. Tony is just always willing to help, but more than that, I mean, the guy lives in Australia and he comes here every year, gets a rental car, and probably drives more miles in a month than I drive all year. How many miles have you walked so far? Just on 6,000. Just on 6,000, man.
Dallas 3 weeks ago. I know it's only 200 miles away, but it's cost us 6,000 miles to get here.
Anybody else want to top that for the long haul award? So what we tried to instill in the Gary Alsobrook Award was the previous winner would give it away the next year. And unfortunately, last year we lost another dedicated member of not only the Saleen Club, but the SBO Club. He was a diehard 4-eyed guy. Hopefully everybody here knows what a 4-eye is. If not, there's one sitting right there. It's the one that's got the old halogen headlights. Guy by the name of Greg Lipsy. And he died of cancer at 33 years old. Greg was a very passionate guy about all things Mustangs. Always willing to help out, always willing to grab parts, ship them, save money. He actually offered to grab a set of wheels for me in Tennessee and ship them to me to save me about 150 bucks. So last year we gave that award to him in his honor after his passing. And Greg and Gary were also good friends. So there's a lot of ties here. There's a lot of good friends, but they're all good people in this industry, or in this hobby. So this year we're thinking of who to give the award to. And I nominated 2 people as a team, something we've never done. These 2 people are all about fun, friendships, and Saleens, and that's why I brought Tony up here, so he can hand it to them tonight. They're members of our board. They're very outgoing. They do a lot for this club. And if you were to ask me, do they have fun? Oh, hell yeah, they have fun. They know how to have fun. Are they all about friendships? Well, you don't put out a little ad on the internet and say, we're going to have a cookout this spring. And 4 years later, that cookout turns into 75 people and 36 Saleens in your street. You don't come together with enemies just to eat hamburgers and hot dogs, so it's all about friendships. And after putting that story together 3 years in a row, I said to them, I'm coming next spring. They live in Alabama, I'm in Indianapolis. We drove 1,000 miles for a cookout. It was more than a cookout. I mean, these people are fun and friendships. And they have an office in their basement that's nothing but Saleen Club of America. I mean, who has that? I don't, do you? Almost. So, I think it goes without saying, most of the people in this room now, we're honored. I was honored to nominate them, and I'm even more honored to hand this Gary Alsobrook Award for 2013 to Nancy Reese.
Oh no. Oh. Hold it up, hold it up, hold it up.
Thank you so much, Jason, and thanks for all you do for the club. That was a great presentation.